Hi there everyone and welcome back to Japan, where I want to talk to you about the brand new Baby Metal Elevator Girl video that came out last night. Now I tried to, last night as I post this video, you might be watching this much later, don't worry, it's not something new if you're watching this in 2020. Anyway, I wanted to post a reaction video to that, and I'm kind of glad in a way that the copyright stopped me from doing so, because when I initially watched the video, my reaction at the time was somewhat different to what it is now, having watched it a couple more times overnight and this morning. Now, my feeling was kind of split because it did something unexpected that I wasn't too sure about, and this was partly in the music and partly in the video itself. So first of all, I'll talk about the video. The video, my feelings were kind of more central in that I thought it was trying to be quirky and it didn't really work. I noticed a lot of the footage came from the same concert that a lot of the footage in the Papaya video came from, and yet that video just felt much better executed. It felt much more like it moved well. There were some little effects and things in this video which could have been kind of twee and fun, but they came off a little bit tacky. As a general, I just think it wasn't as well executed as the video, but it wasn't bad, it was nothing particularly wrong with it. But the thing which really opened up a question for me was the English translation version of the lyrics, which is what I saw on the video that was posted that I saw. That kind of makes sense. I don't know if they're also going to do a Japanese version, but I think because it's linked up to the live video that goes along with it, that this is just for the English version. Now, my feeling was that when that chorus came in, I mean, I hadn't really clocked that it was an English version. I just went, oh, I'm going to click on that, start the camera. When the chorus came in, I've got to admit, I was quite disappointed. I really like Elevator Girl. Elevator Girl, as you guys probably know, has been one of my favourite songs by the band Total, not just recently. I really love the song. And suddenly when the English translation version came in, obviously the words and the number of syllables is different, so the rhythm is slightly different. And what we were left with was just, it didn't feel as frenetic, it didn't feel as energetic, it just didn't seem to work as well for me. Now, I admit an element of that, which certainly was amped up in the reaction video that I haven't been able to post, was simply the fact that when I was listening to it, I think I was just horrified that it wasn't the song that I had so recently fallen in love with. And, you know, I was thinking, oh no, this is the chorus I love, it's different now. I had trouble accepting change at such short notice. So, you know, now I've listened to it more, yeah, it's not quite as bad as I thought it was. And the lyrics as well, it's nice to hear the lyrics in English, because the lyrics are kind of a bit silly in this sort of normal baby metal way, but they do have a sort of good positive message, they're likeable. Now, the issue though, like I say, with this was one that made me think of something else. Now, when Papaya obviously came out, Papaya's got quite a few rhythms going on in the chorus, and as you may know, recently I did a cover version of Papaya just using sort of junky instruments lying around and some second-hand things that I bought from a cheap shop, and I did that while the internet was off, so when I did it, I had no actual reference, because I haven't got a downloaded version of Papaya, and so I did it. When the internet came back up, I uploaded it, and I listened to it back and I suddenly realised that the chorus that I had put in, the chorus melody that was in my version, was more simple, more stripped back. It lacked a lot of the intricacies of the actual recorded version of Papaya that they had released, and therefore I was a little bit disappointed in my version. I was really glad that everyone seemed to like it and enjoy it because it had all the musicality from the original, but I was a little bit down on myself about the fact that I had missed out on getting the melody right in all of its intricacies. So, you know, for me that was a disappointment. But I didn't think it trashed the song. When I heard my version, I was like, oh, okay, well, I listened to it compared to the other one, I was like, well, okay, my chorus isn't quite as interesting as the original, but it still works. So I was thinking, why have I got such a downer on this new version of Elevator Girl? And the reason then sort of clicked to me that with, well, the new, if you like, the delivery that comes with the English version, the English language version of Elevator Girl, the reason is because Papaya actually, if you sort of pull it apart, has got many, many levels, many things going on in it. Now, as I said when I did my initial review of the audio version of Elevator Girl when that came out a couple of months ago now, I think, I really like that song, but I like it in a simple way. It's much simpler than a lot of baby metal songs. The complications actually come through in, and I say complications in a positive light, in things like the chord structure, the chord pattern. It's much more short, stripped back song, and it just really highlights the energy and the power of their style with a great chorus. Now, this is the thing. It has a quality which is almost akin to like a punk song, in that it's just a simple interplay between the rhythm and melody of the vocals and the chord pattern of the backing. Because if you think about it, there's not exactly a huge amount of riffing or anything going on. In the chorus especially, it's just sort of yeah, the guitar's just sort of chugging along like it would do in a hard rock or a punk song, rather than, you know, doing all the riffing and stuff that you'd sometimes hear in more metal songs, especially in baby metal songs. So it's a much more simple balance between the two. So whereas with Papaya, you can change the vocal, you can take away some of the intricacy, and still there's this wealth of things going on in the background that just make it really, sort of fill up the ears and make it such an interesting one to listen to. Elevator Girl is appealing on a much more simple level, which is what makes these two singles, even though they're produced in a similar way, have such a wonderful counter to each other. It's why they're such different songs, and I think a really good choice of singles. Obviously, not having heard the whole album yet, I'm still pretty sure that they picked their two singles very well. So with Elevator Girl, it's much, much, much more difficult to make a switch to the melody or make any change to the melody because it's so much more important. Now, when you listen to the original melody, there's more syllables. So it's da na 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 na, stop, da na 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 na, stop, da 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 da. What works is that it's, because the backing is very simple, there's something about the energy, the full-on way that the lyrics are being punched at you, punch, 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 and those little breaks are like, so it's the way that the energy breaks those little bits and throws you back in. It's really full force. It doesn't give you a time to think of it as being anything other than full force and energetic. It fills itself out really well. In the same way that when you get the post-chorus, you have that really quick solo for the wish of not doing everything a cappella. I'm going to have to do it. So that was a really bad impression. But you have that really good post-chorus bit where the guitar starts riffing really quickly. And that's brilliant because it does kind of the same thing the vocals are doing, but in a different way. It's the fact that you don't get to notice how simple the backing is. Like I say, great chord pattern, but how simple it is in terms of intricacies because of the fact that the top layer keeps on moving so fast. Now, with the newer version, it's more broken up. There's more pauses, and it kind of feels a little bit, the energy's kind of sucked out of it, and you start to see little things in it, little gaps that are not quite as well filled, and the whole thing doesn't seem to work as well. It's still the same great song, and yet just that tiny little intricacy makes a massive effect in the way that, like, my failings of doing a cover of Papaya, thank you again for everyone who's liked that video, my failings of doing a Papaya did not bring down the song. So it's that balance is what I think is really important there, and I think what is maybe missing when we hear that version of Elevator Girl. So this opens up more of a question for me. I mean, like I said, I have a lot of respect for the fact they do these songs in English language. It doesn't really bother me so much. I mean, my Japanese skills are not good enough that I can really say that, I just hear a Japanese song and I understand it. But, I'm not really I never really beg for them to do the songs in English, but I appreciate it's a really good thing for them to do because they got a lot of fans who want to hear those songs in English. And when you've got a song like Elevator Girl that already is half English, why not? And the lyrics seem really great. But for me, I think that the change to doing the English lyrics, in the need for getting a good translation, which is I'm assuming what the cause is, they've actually forfeited the quality of the song. That's my feeling. I still like it. Don't get me wrong, I still really like the song, and like I say, I was quite harsh on it in my reaction, which is why I'm kind of glad I didn't post that. But listening back to it, although I'm more okay with it now that I've had a chance to get used to it, I still think it's not really a smidge on the Japanese version. I used the word smidge, that's interesting. That's just my feeling. So I wanted to open up to what you guys thought about that specifically. Like I say, the video was kind of much of a muchness. I wasn't really wowed by it. I thought it was a little bit meh, but I didn't think it was bad, just meh. And I think the translation affected the song a lot. So like I say, you guys tell me what you think, and also let's talk about some other songs. Have you ever heard any other songs that have been converted between language? They could have been done originally in English and then converted to Japanese, or Japanese to English, either way, where the conversion, because of the need to convert the lyrics accurately, has affected the number of syllables, therefore the rhythm. Has it made it better? Has it made it worse? Think of some examples, because this is a conversation I'd really like to have. It's one that I think we all think about in the background of our minds if we're interested in this sort of international music scene, but it's one that we don't often talk about as much as we should. So this is a discussion I really want to get started on here, see what you guys think, and also just tell me as a general, what did you think of the Elevator Girl video? Like I say, I really like this song. Both versions, the original, well, I say the original, there's been so many iterations of it now, but the Japanese version that they released as the audio single, I really think that was a fantastic single. This one, like I say, just by comparison, is disappointing. Get in there, tell me what you think, and I'm really looking forward to us having a conversation about this. As always, feel free, like I say, commenting is kind of essential on this. Like, subscribe if you want to. We've got loads of videos of us. We've done every single Baby Metal song, haven't we now? We've had a Baby Metal top 10. We review loads of other artists. As always, get in there, comment, and get involved with the channel. That would be much appreciated. But for now, from Japan, until we see you, which will hopefully be soon, ciao ciao.